Hey guys, welcome to another episode of No Games Here. Today I'm joined by Kevin and Preston. Preston also has a channel and he can tell you a little bit more about that.
Hey everyone, I am from the channel Pacific P. Mainly do Let's Plays type stuff, but as of right now, I'm just super lazy and haven't done anything. So if you want to, go and check it out, but really there's nothing there right now.
So yeah, I'd recommend going to check it out, give them some love, that kind of thing. So what we're going to be talking about today is E3. We know that happened fairly recently, and we're just here to talk about, what we noticed out of it, what we really liked, and kind of our views on what was shown there. So we're going to be talking about things like Mass Effect Andromeda, Fee, Battlefield 1, Skyrim, Dishonored 2, just a whole huge list of things from all the different conferences that happened. So I think we're going to start with Mass Effect Andromeda. So obviously we've all been waiting around for a new Mass Effect game for quite a while, and we've heard about Andromeda for a while now, and we've all been wanting to see more and more on it. And with the new conference that EA held on it, it was really nice to see the environmental stuff to it, like really see more of the actual gameplay. And especially since it's held in the new Frostbite engine, it looks amazing. I really liked the fact that they're really going back to the exploration side of it. What did you guys think?
I actually totally agree. I mean, I thought it was kind of a step backward for Mass Effect to take out that aspect of you go to a planet and you just or it was kind of a step backward for you to go to a planet and not being able to just kind of roam around freely.
Yeah, like in 2 and 3 where you were just kind of like, you went to the planet, but you were kind of in this set path. Now you definitely get to do a lot more of the exploring. Preston, what did you think of it? Like, what was your favorite part of the, like the trailer and I guess that part of the conference?
I mean, I liked it because, you got to see a lot of what they want to make the game look like and see all the environments and everything that they have. My one semi kind of gripe with it, though, is, we're going to a new galaxy, which means we're going to be interacting with a whole new bunch of different species, different than the ones that we've already, gotten to know pretty well. So it's like we're kind of leaving what we already have, established and could still build off on. But going, if they want, it's a new thing. This is completely separate from the other Mass Effect game. So, it's good because it's like a reboot, but not really a reboot. If that makes any sense.
It's almost a chance for a new start.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's giving them the room to create something completely new. Like, I think they had a lot of foresight in that matter to really think, look, if we set this in the same universe that we just came from, everybody's going to be like, what happened to Shepard? And like, hey, how did that turn out? How did the Krogans turn out? I think it's really smart of them to go, you know what? Let's go to a completely new galaxy. We don't know what's here. You'll have to find out. There will be completely new stories, completely new challenges. It's going to be something that you're really going to immerse yourself in. So I really like that they decided to go that direction with it.
And let's appreciate the fact that they're bringing the Mako back, because that was the best part of Mass Effect 1. So let's be honest. I hope it has as great a physics as it did in the first game.
Well, now that they have the Frostbite engine, it looks amazing. Like between the weather effects and like the sand and just like the part of the video, they had the Mako traveling through these like huge sand dunes, and like the sand was being pushed out of the way, and it actually made like realistic tire tracks. The sand was flowing. There was like a sandstorm. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. Like at times I was like, okay, is this rendered? It kind of looks rendered. I can't tell. But then it's like, no, it's moving like it's not.
It's there.
Huh. But yeah, like it looks so good.
To be honest, I just like with the Mako, I just want to fucking leapfrog.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I want to do tricks.
Yeah, get some of those sweet, ollies and do some 360s with it.
Get that Mako action.
Another game they presented from an indie developer was Fee. I really feel for the guy who had to go present. Like, you could tell it wasn't his first time presenting, or like it wasn't his first time presenting, but it was also clearly his first time presenting in front of so many people. Like I felt that you could tell he was kind of nervous at the time. He did a great job. It was just he was kind of nervous. So I just like wanted to take a moment to just be like, if he's ever watching this for any reason, just be like, you know what, you did a great job. Don't worry about it. Good job. But with that, we'll just spend a little bit about it. It seems like a really interesting concept. I like the art style with it. Watching the videos, it looked, I don't know, I wasn't quite sure what kind of game it was. It looked kind of like a platformer-y kind of game. But I think, Preston, you have a little better background on this one. You just, you know a little bit more about it. Is that correct?
I mean, a little bit. This was one of the most interesting things out of EA's press conference that came up because it was something new and nothing really expected. Because the main thing that really drew me in was the art style of it, how it's just very Limbo-esque. And,
yeah, I got that a lot from it.
Yeah, and a lot of the gameplay, it's got like 2D puzzle solving sections, but it also has kind of like the 3D exploration type thing like you'll see in, I guess, in Yooka-Laylee or Banjo-Kazooie, to, be a little more relevant with that game coming up. But I don't know if that's necessarily the main I don't know too much about the main focus or much about it since they didn't really show too much of it off in their presentation. But no, it was just, I don't know, simple, clean indie title that, I don't know, it's definitely going to draw my attention.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep it on the radar. I'll be looking out for that. So hopefully they'll release a little bit more about the game so I have a little better idea of what it is. But yeah, it definitely piqued my interest. And of course, one of the biggest things, I mean, they talked about Star Wars. They were really vague with it. They didn't really say much. They're like, we've really listened to our players. It's like, really? We saw you put Nia Nub in there. Nobody fucking asked for that. Yeah, you really listened, EA. Good job.
I mean, basically it was them just saying, oh, look, we have the Star Wars, IP behind our back, and we're making stuff with it, but we're not going to tell you anything about it.
I feel bad. The lady they had presenting, she just, I don't know if she was just super memorizing the script, but it came across as she had no idea what she was talking about. She's like, this is the new Star Wars. May the Force be with you. It's like, oh, Jesus. Ugh. It's like
upward inflection on you. May the Force be with you, maybe? Did I do that right?
It's just it just felt really fake. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But, with them being nondescript, I mean, there wasn't much there. What really did focus on, though, was a lot on Battlefield 1. I was originally kind of skeptical of this one. Not because it's they're going to World War I. It's never going to work. It's more of how are they going to do it? Because a lot of the weapons they used in World War I were not automatics, and people are kind of used to that.
Yep.
It looks like in a lot of the gameplay they went to automatic weapons, but I'm guessing that they're probably going to shift away from there when you actually play it. I don't know. It seems like a really cool concept. The thing I liked the most about it is that they had weather changes. A lot of games like to have weather in their, they might have, this mission's rainy or this mission's sunny, but they made it sound like it was going to be in the mission, right during it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also instead of doing their big set pieces that change the map like they did in Battlefield 4, where they were kind of static and always happened, the thing with the Zeppelin, other than being a huge airship that, you can command kind of, with a group of, say, 20 people or so and just kind of roll with it and see what happens. But it's not like a set piece where, once it reaches this part of the map, it's going to destroy, it's going to get, if it gets destroyed or whatever, it'll destroy this portion of the map and, make the terrain this way. Wherever it gets shut down, it looks like it will destroy whatever's underneath it at that time. It's not like a scripted event or anything.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know if, when I go to play it, I'm going to be that unlucky bastard who just watches it fall on him. Just son of a bitch. And or I'm going to be the guy constantly trying to take it down to crush my enemies with it.
Oh,
so either one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see the celebrity match? Oh, go ahead.
With Zac Efron in them? Which is easily where my mind goes when I think of Battlefield, right? Yeah. Zac Efron? Yep.
Of course.
I mean, he is renowned to be the best Battlefield player.
Even though if you looked on the feed for it at the end of the game, he had 0 kills and 8 deaths.
Jeez. It's we're gonna pit celebrities against YouTubers. Ha! Good luck. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
It's we're gonna pit 7-year-old children against NBA All-Star LeBron James in a dunking contest. Who will win? It's like, oh, let me take a wild stab. Jesus.
No, but what I was going to say is, I wonder with some of the vehicles, like the tanks and one, force you to, like, if you're going to be able to pilot those as one person, or if you're going to be forced to pilot them as a group. Especially with the era that we're talking about. I mean, I guess you could kind of, I mean, nowadays with Battlefield 4, technically you shouldn't be able to with only one person, but you could probably swing it. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I wonder if what they're going to do is do it where you can, like, you can shift around, similar to like what Red Orchestra does. You need 3 people to pilot the tank well, but you can run it with one. You just have to constantly hop around the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? It'll definitely be interesting to see what kind of comes of that.
Let's just hope the launch is better than Battlefield 4.
Oh God, yes. You mean the best map pack ever for Battlefield 3?
Yeah.
I just thought of something. I just thought of a perfect fucking game set.
Yeah.
For Battlefield 1. So those Zeppelins, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe there would be some sort of game set where you're an entire crew of Zeppelin pilots and, you know, Zeppelin bombers and defenders, and the other team has a shitload of planes that they basically try and down the Zeppelin while the other team defends it, and they have to reach a certain spot on the map and blow up an objective on the ground.
I would guess that would probably be one of the game modes, if not like be included in the maps where there's the Zeppelin. It does sound really cool. I was originally thinking you were about to say, like, what if we have one Zeppelin fighting another Zeppelin? I'm like, so Guns of Icarus?
Yeah, I was going to say Guns of Icarus, because we already have that.
You know they're going to add that too. That's going to be a game mode. Is Zeppelin v Zeppelin, and it's going to be Guns of Icarus, but in Battlefield.
Yeah.
No. I want to see them go like almost Super Troll mode, and just have like shitloads of Zeppelins. Have like everyone pilot their own Zeppelin, and then have like some that are like carrier Zeppelins that carry like planes and stuff like that, and just make it like completely not World War I, just for like maybe April Fool's Day. Have Zeppelins on the ground and have them be tanks.
Oh God.
just pure obscenity. Like, it would be awesome.
I mean, that was kind of it for the EA conference. There's a few things here or there, but I guess moving right along to the Bethesda conference, it was a little lackluster. It wasn't like super interesting. I mean, they had things like, you know, Elder Scrolls, the card game that they're making, which doesn't seem interesting at all. The Skyrim remaster, because we wanted that clearly. Prey, which isn't actually Prey, it's just called Prey, and it's a completely different thing apparently. Preston brought that up. I when I was looking at it, you know, I hadn't actually played Prey. I'm like, oh, they're doing like a remake or a reboot, okay. And then I looked it up, and then I was like, oh, this is weird. And then Preston explained it, and he was like,
yeah, it's not even close to the original Prey. I'm not gonna act like I know everything about it since I never played it. But when I saw that, I was like, this something about the name sounded familiar. But when I looked it up during the press conference, it's got nothing to relate with the original Prey. So I was just confused. I was like, is it a reboot? Is it Prey 2? What exactly is it supposed to be? I don't know. It was just a little confusing if you like knew the prior IP and where it was, but I guess for a lot of people probably didn't know what it was, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, I think this is the year of people naming things poorly. I mean, we have Doom, which not a bad name, but you also already have Doom, so why is it just called Doom? You have Battlefield 1, which is like, okay, that's weird. You have all the consoles that are named shittily. Like, this year, man, we are just real bad.
Don't forget the new God of War, which is just God of War. And
yeah,
it's not
I know, right?
Reboot, and it's not a sequel. So what is it?
I wonder if there's like one marketing team that like all these companies work through. I wonder if that's it. Like, there's just one team that is
be
doing
honest-
all of this shit.
To be honest, I think it's like a disease. It's like an epidemic of non-creativeness.
Well, people see
That's
it work, and then they want to copy it.
Yeah, I know, and it's
Oh, boy.
it's dumb because fucking be creative. Like,
Put a
it's not
subtitle
that-
on there.
Yeah, if you want, you could just like snap someday, just and just say like, oh, the new God of War, it's called shit fuck Kratos, and no one would deny it. Everyone would say that at E3, and no one would like scoff and say like, oh my gosh, that's so uncreative. No one would do that. They may say like that, I don't want my kids playing shit fuck Kratos because that's obscene. But screw those people. It's creative.
Yeah.
Damn
Well,
it.
speaking of lacking creativity, they clearly showed off the Skyrim remaster.
It's dumb.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
It's
Just
dumb.
the game I was looking for.
Just the game I was looking for 3 years ago.
This is exactly what I wanted. Ever since I played Skyrim, I said I wanted this remastered because its graphics weren't nearly as good as I thought they could be.
Well, the thing is, like, all of these, like, effects, they're like, look at how pristine the water is. And look now. Look at the grass. It's so much better. And then you look at it, it's like, I have mods that do this. I've had mods that do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I mean,
nothing
honestly,
new.
I think they're really just doing it to get the mods onto consoles. And they know people are going to buy that because people on consoles want mods to make it more better. But to be able to do that, you have to buy the new one. I just hope they don't sell it at 60.
Oh, they will.
they will.
They
You know they'll
probably
be like-
will.
They will.
But
They'll, like, bundle all the DLC with it and be like, that's why it's 60. And it'll be like, well, okay. Oh, yeah, did you hear they're like, you get the Skyrim remaster free if you already own the game and all the DLC, including all the small DLCs, including Hearthfire. And it's like, oh, for God's
that's only
sakes.
on PC, though.
Horse.
Yeah, to be fair, yes. But still, it's like,
You get it all free after you buy all the crappy DLC. Will also lop onto it. That totals in and around $60. They may just, if they want to screw me some more, they might as well put horse armor in and just
Just make it a full circle.
no,
just
dragon
just send
armor.
it full circle.
There's already a mod for that.
I know. I mean,
There's a
the
mod-
biggest...
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say there's a mod to make Tommy Wiseau your mount.
Oh, Jesus. I guess the biggest thing to come out of the Bethesda conference was Dishonored 2.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
the biggest one. That one looks really cool. Like, they did a really good job with the art style in Dishonored 1 to make it feel like a real city. But I feel in Dishonored 2, they nailed it. Like, I was just
Yes.
watching the videos for it. I'm like, this looks like an actual city. Like, there's just tiny bits of detritus and, just thrown away shit on the streets. The cobblestone is just lit perfectly. Like, the lighting's really good. Like, it's super realistic. It feels very lively. Everybody, all the characters seem real. They really just hit that one perfectly. And, like, one of my favorite things is that you can play as either Emily or Corvo, and you get a different story depending on which one you play.
Yep.
Well,
I think what's really cool about it is they left enough in there from Dishonored 1 to make you familiar with it and realize it, but then they added so many new stuff that just improves on things.
Yeah, like the alternate timeline device.
Like that
they
is
showed
so
that one
sweet.
mission. I know.
That
like
blew
it's
my
like,
mind.
I'm just gonna go into the destroyed timeline for a second. Oh look, there's this poor son of a bitch I'm about to stab in the neck. Whoop, stab. Whoop.
so
Oh look, I'm back. He
cool.
doesn't know what happened. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm really excited for that. I can't wait till that comes out. That's gonna be such a nice game.
It's gonna be great.
Right after that one though, there was the Microsoft conference, and that one had some pretty big ones. I think the biggest thing that they said, at least the weightiest or like heaviest hitting one, was the Play Anywhere announcement, because that's huge.
Ooh, yeah.
Like being able to play, your Xbox games on either your Xbox One or Windows 10 and be cross compatible with it, and apparently also on Steam.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Oh yeah.
Now there's still a big question.
I'm actually amazed that they actually, are doing it. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that they didn't do it sooner, but
I'm
I mean, hey, I'll take it.
surprised now.
Yeah, and
it's been so long that I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine that it would actually happen.
yeah, and not to be like super skeptical or anything, but I wonder if you buy it on Xbox One, you get it for free on PC, in Windows 10 or free for Windows 10. I mean, they're also selling it on Steam, but does the free copy only come through their own store on Windows 10, or is it going to come free on Steam also? That's kind of like where the question is, because they may only do it free through their store since they have more control, I guess, over that.
Yeah,
Well,
It'll be interesting.
and it might
to see
end
what
up
they
being
end
a
up doing
company
with that.
per company thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it going to be all their titles, or is it only going to be? It's probably only going to be their first party titles, I would assume, right?
I would guess there'll probably be some that like qualify. Again, it'll probably be like a developer or like publisher to publisher kind of thing, where it just depends. They talked a lot about, like they said, like Gears of War 4 was going to be one of the first titles to do that.
Yep.
Overall, like the game, I'm not super excited about it. I played 1 through 3, and I don't know. I'm kind of done with it.
No, but you're fighting not the locusts. You're fighting something else that are basically the locusts.
Yeah, that's what I got. I was like, okay, these clearly aren't the locusts. They look like the locusts. They behave like the locusts.
I think they're what?
They sound like
they're
the
the
locusts.
swarm or something like that.
The swarm. Oh, how imaginative.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking
Jesus.
it up.
It's still
I-
part of the epidemic of non-creativity that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, where do they come from? Underground. Oh, really?
Why is that? Oh, because we invaded their
That's
home
never
world
been
and
done
want to take it for our own.
Because there was a resource. What is it? It's not emulsion. It's
Expulsion.
Expulsion. Like, oh, for God's sake.
It's convulsion. And just, oh my, it's gonna be fun.
It's terrible. I'll let you look that up when you find that. Let us know. One of the coolest, like in terms of like most interesting games for the Microsoft conference was We Happy Few, in my personal opinion. I got really heavy like BioShock vibes from it. It really kind of gave me that, and also a little bit of like a Clockwork Orange. So the idea of the game is it's set in like alternate history 1960s London, in fact, specifically Wellington Wells. And you play as one of the citizens of the town where everybody's taking this drug called joy. And the whole idea is that joy makes you just ridiculously overjoyed and happy, hence the name Joy. Now, the reason people are taking joy is because during the occupation, and when I say alternate history, it's because Germany actually invaded England in this history and managed to hold it for a while. During the occupation, you do terrible things and you're trying to forget that, and that's why everybody takes joy. Okay. Now, you play as a downer, somebody who doesn't want to take the joy anymore, and are now actually kind of a pariah of the town, and everybody's actually out to get you because that's not allowed. And it's just this really weird, like, creepy vibe. Like, everybody's always smiling and everybody has their faces painted white. It's the creepiest thing, because like the cops will just like stare at you with this like creepy grin on their face. They'll be like, "Why aren't you taking your joy? You know that's not right for everybody." And it's like, oh shit. You're like, and the whole thing is you're just like, it's like a weird mix between like horror and like stealth. You're trying not to be found out, because if you get found out, then they try to kill you. And I've heard, just by looking up the game a little bit, that there's going to be, it's kind of like, not, I wouldn't say roguelite, but like a hardcore style of it where there's permadeath and you have to start the game over if you die.
Okay.
Oh,
so I'm excited for it. It looks really cool. In terms of just like breaking the mold, though, it's very different from a lot of games that I've seen in a long while, as well as just E3 in general. I'm excited. It looks pretty good. Have you guys seen anything on it so far?
I haven't seen much, just screenshots and everything with it, and I really like the aesthetic that they're going with the game.
Oh yeah. The retro motif is really, really cool. Just all the like, old-timey, TVs, and then that you can definitely feel it has that 1960s like art style to it. Everything's got that like the vibrant colors, and it's just all there.
Yep.
And I really think they did a good job kind of researching that and putting that into the game. Something that I saw during the Microsoft conference that I also liked was the Dead Rising 4 reveal. Actual gameplay, it looks a lot like Dead Rising 3. Hopefully it's not just Dead Rising 3, because Dead Rising 3 was kind of dull a little bit. But have you guys seen the trailer for it?
Yeah, I liked how they're bringing back, I forget what his name is, the first protagonist from the first...
Frank West.
Yeah, they're bringing him back, and he's still got that smug-ass charm that he has.
Oh my god. Like the
beautiful.
selfies.
Yep.
He's like browsing social media on his phone, and he's like, lol, click.
I really hope,
like,
because did you play Dead Rising 3, Zach?
I've played all of them.
Okay. Was the camera thing at all relevant in the third game?
Not really.
Okay, because I hope they bring that back. It looks like they may be.
Oh, they are. Yeah, no, they are. You get PP for taking pictures of things and taking selfies with zombies and shit. It's amazing. I was reading up on it a little bit, and it turns out that the mech suit they feature in the game, it's not like a permanent thing. It's just like a temporary power-up you can get. So it's not like you just get that all the time.
Okay, good.
It's like, okay, that's good. I say, oh, that's good, as I'm rolling around in this giant steamroller with Santa Claus hats on the side of it with flamethrowers and rocket launchers. Like, good. Glad I don't get a mech suit all the time. Like, so I probably shouldn't complain about that. But the trailer itself was hilarious. Like, it just hit everything perfectly. Like, it just had that wonderful Christmas music in the background with Frank just, like, destroying zombies and shit. Oh. The Christmas tree of zombies.
Yeah.
I guess moving on to like the Ubisoft conference, from what I saw, there wasn't really anything that like piqued my interest. Was there anything that got you guys's anything you saw that you really wanted to?
I mean, other than being excited for South Park, because that's going to be my new Paper Mario RPG. Because it actually has the battle mechanics that are really fun. And plus, it looks like they expanded on it a little more in the battles, and it's probably going to be more fun. I mean, the first one was like a perfect, translation from show to game. So I'm assuming this one's going to be much of the same. Probably not, too much different from Stick of Truth, but you don't really need to change all that much to get me interested in that.
It looked like you had a little more like ability to move around during combat.
Yep.
So a little more movement in the turn-based combat. I like that it's a superhero aesthetic now instead of the kind of fantasy
LARP
RPG. Yeah, like LARPing.
Yep.
So that's cool a little bit. Also, I found it hilarious that like they would just keep bringing up the name of the game. Like instead of saying, "Oh, in our game," they'd always be like, "Yeah, in Fractured Butthole." they just found every reason to say it, and you could hear the audience kind of like snickering at it the whole time.
Of course, why wouldn't you do that?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right?
When you've got a name like Fractured Butthole, you're gonna say it.
Yeah,
it's Sony's was interesting. Sony had a lot of like interesting games and a lot of like franchise continuations. But they also had some really weird ones. I mean, they had things like Horizon Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Like the weird robot dinosaur thing, whatever it is. They had God of War, or Preston, as you call it.
Dad of War.
Dad of War, basically. And they also had this game called Days Gone, which originally looked kind of like a Last of Us-y kind of game. And it's like, oh, it's a zombie shooter. I mean, not that Last of Us didn't have zombies in it, but
it was more about the people
zombie
than the zombies.
And this one's like, look, zombies, you shoot them.
Look how many enemies we can fit on screen.
Yeah, it's like they went with the World War Z zombies, where they're just like water.
And
like, God damn it.
That just got me super uninterested in the game, because at first they didn't show much. At first I thought it was a Ride to Hell Retribution sequel or something. And I was like, no way are they fucking doing that. And then
they would never.
I thought they were going to at first, but no. And then it turned out to be zombies at the end when they showed the gameplay, and it was just like, okay, this is super uninteresting now.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the gameplay, I was out. I was like, nah, nope, not happening.
Yeah.
The Resident Evil kind of like tech demo, not tech demo, but like the play demo that they had for Resident Evil 7. Like, I'm glad that they went back to the horror genre, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it.
Can we talk about the reveal of that though? I don't know if you guys watched the conference at all.
I watched the conference. I don't remember the reveal.
No, because all it was them showing, the guy walking through the house and everything, and then it showed one of the hillbilly zombie things. I don't know what they're supposed to be in this game, but and then all of a sudden it's just like Resident Evil 7 out of nowhere. Like that was kind of like the theme of Sony's press conferences. Here's this game. Do you know what it is? Surprise! It's this game you didn't think about. Because, was Resident Evil 7 on anyone's radar at this point?
The Dora the Explorer of conferences.
Yeah, basically.
Jesus. Yeah, they kind of did that with everything. It's, even though you kind of got the idea with it originally, like they did that with Detroit Become Human. Like, you get the idea that like, oh, is this guy? I think this guy's a robot.
I thought it was going to be. Well, I thought it was going to be LA Noire, but like in the future.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
That's what the game looks like. Like you're gonna have like, your space where you do your detective stuff, and then depending on possibly, this is just theory crafting, possibly what you find in your research, whatever there kind of affects what kind of choices you can make in the confrontation at the end of it, or something like that.
Yeah, that I could see that possibly being part of it. I mean, as you brought up, Preston, it's you said David Cage.
Yep,
right?
it's David Cage film. It's not a game. It's a film.
Yeah, basically.
Interactive film.
He's the same. Well, he's the one that made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a like interactive movie, less so than an actual game. But I'm okay with that because I've played both of those and it's worth it. It's really worth it just to sit and like, yeah, you get to make choices, and it's like I said, it's an interactive movie experience.
Yep.
And he does a really good job of telling stories through that medium. So I'm excited to see what he does. Like just the trailer they had where you could, do you choose to shoot the other android? Do you try to talk him down? Do you try and lie to him? And you do all these things. And I mean, it's the same general process as with, Beyond Two Souls and that kind of thing, where your choices determine the outcome. But I think it's going to be really good. Like they did a good job of setting up this new world to explore, and I think that'll be fun to kind of take a look at.
And and not to mention, I really hope that it has another like Sean glitch from Heavy Rain. Sean.
The guys was it Connor? I think it was Connor, right? Was the android's name?
I don't remember.
I think it was Connor. I can't remember. Where he's just like, Connor. And you're just like standing in like a lobby.
Connor,
just yelling it.
Connor is the android that you play.
Yeah, just Connor. Oh dear.
the last like heartbreaking scenes. Connor.
And then the end of Ubisoft. Sorry, the end of Sony's conference with Norman Fetus.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, Kevin, you watched the video for that, right?
I have no words. What?
Neither does Norman Reedus.
I mean,
apparently he is incapable of talking in any of these trailers. Like what even happened?
What the fuck did I watch?
It's like, I know, right? You're like, okay, well, it's Norman Reedus. He's naked. He has handcuffs on. There's a cyber baby. He picked up the cyber baby. Okay, now he's crying. Okay, now the cyber baby is gone, and it's just oil now. Still crying. Okay, there's a whole bunch of dead animals on a beach. Still just butt-ass naked. And now there's 5 floating people. And now it's this weird indie music playing. And then it just says, coming whenever. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What we've basically just entered now is an era where Kojima is no longer limited by the restraints of a parent company, since he is in charge of his own company. So you're just like, well, who knows what kind of crazy shit we're going to get into with Kojima's mind.
He's unbound.
He's unbound.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Is this a social experiment? What the fuck? The hell is happening?
The Kojima is loose.
Konami was doing us a favor by keeping him locked away.
No. Here's Death Stranding. The whole game is just about the Silent Hills dev process, because it was Norman Reedus accepting the role and then it disappearing on him and just having these overseers watching and disappearing away from him. Like, watch that. Like, it's actually based upon watch Kojima come out in an interview and be like, well, it was actually based upon my experience after leaving Konami. And you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense.
It's a true story.
And
what do the whales represent? Well, nothing. They're just whales. Oh, well. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Kojima.
All right. Well, it looks like we've just got one topic left here. So Nintendo wasn't kind of like at the main conference. They had their own thing going on. And of course, I'm sure everyone's heard about it at this point, but the main thing they were really hyping up was Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've really just seen the trailer for it at this point. I know, Preston, you have a lot more experience with it, so I'm going to let you take it away.
Well, I mean, easily, I think this was, Nintendo didn't have a press conference, but the Zelda Breath of Wild definitely is probably one of the most talked things that I see come out of E3, honestly, just because it was new and something Nintendo has never done before. So basically, the way I like to describe Breath of the Wild is it's like, so you got your normal Zelda, and then you kind of add, it's kind of like a mixture of Far Cry, Witcher, Skyrim, all that, just like those huge open world type games.
Yep.
You're able to, you have different weapons that you can pick up. You have different armor and stuff that you can equip as well that kind of degrade as you go along. Certain areas actually require certain types of gear. Like if you can't just run around naked the entire time. If you try to go up north, it gets too cold for you to do anything. So it's kind of got gameplay aspects with that.
See, actually, I've heard that you can actually do that. I've heard it confirmed that you can beat the game in your boxers.
Well, yeah, because you can. Because you can rush directly to Ganondorf right at the beginning, or Ganon. I don't know which one it is. And just try and fight him if you wanted to. But obviously, to be able to get everything, see everything, I don't know if Ganon is necessarily in those areas where you're not allowed to go while naked because you're too cold or it's too hot or whatever or something like that. Yeah. But I also heard that it's stated that the world size of Breath of the Wild is 360 square kilometers, which is 10 times the size of Skyrim.
Holy shit.
It'll be interesting to see exactly the size of this, and hopefully it's filled with a bunch of interesting things to keep it from being, just a barren wasteland.
Skyrim.
Yeah, being Skyrim. But no,
it's just a whole bunch of trees and nothingness.
Yeah, it's got weather effects. You can light a stick on fire and then light fields on fire.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was awesome. I was like,
yeah,
there's it looks like they were incorporating a lot of little small things into it that are definitely going to add to be this huge experience. Like the lighting the fields on fire, or the using the ice blocks in the water, or just the swimming and the hunting aspects and the cooking. It's like they're trying something that they really haven't tried before with this series.
Yep.
And initially I was kind of skeptical of it. I was like, I don't know, open world Zelda. And then it's like the more I see of it, though, I'm like, ooh, this might be real good. This could be the next thing. This is really, really cool.
Yeah, I know that they said that they wanted to do something completely different with Zelda. Just kind of, I know that's what Anuma was wanted to try and do with it. And I was like, and it looks like they did it without kind of screwing up the controls, kind of like what they sadly did with Star Fox Zero, where they made it almost unplayable.
Yeah.
But this looks like, it's also coming out for the NX, in March, which we still have no idea what even that is as a console that's not replacing the Wii U, but is alongside the Wii. I don't know. It's going to be a launch title. They're launching simultaneously at the same time on that and the NX, but no, it's definitely looking extremely interesting. My interest was piqued when they first showed it, 2 or 3 years ago at E3?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's kept my interest, especially now that we've got, I mean, you can just go on YouTube. They streamed it pretty much the entire week of E3, showing off a bunch of different things. I didn't watch all of it just to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible for it. Watched enough to get kind of a basic gist of what kind of the gameplay is going to be, what kind of things you can do in the world, but it's definitely a new turn for the Zelda series.
Oh yeah. I'm going to be excited to play it. I might actually have to like go out and buy a Wii U.
Oh, don't worry, they're super cheap. Actually, they're not. The Xbox One is now cheaper than it, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might have to buy one just to play it because it's been a while since I've played a Zelda game. Like I've never, well, I started to play Skyward Sword, and then I didn't.
Good choice there. Good choice there.
But I think I'll have to pick this one up and play because this one seems like it'd definitely be worth the purchase, even if I have to buy a console for it. Which, although expensive, I mean, there's other games on the Wii U that I play. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely
it.
A system seller if you don't have one right now. It's definitely easily a big title that'll be useful for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that covers pretty much everything. I mean, there's a few smaller titles here or there that was covered in the conference.
That kind of covered everything that was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, thanks for joining us on the podcast. I know Kevin had to leave, but it was nice to have everybody on here and kind of talk about things and kind of learn, like I said, just what everybody was interested in and get to talk about that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. All right, see you guys next time.
Bye.